The main bout. 15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing the world's heavyweight champion from Livermore, California, Max Baer. His opponent, the man who in the last year made the greatest comeback in ring history, James J. Braddock of Jersey City. Either one of you happen to go down, the other one goes to the farther corner. Now shake hands, come out and fight, and get your punches up. No foul on the backhand and no backhand and no hit on the right. You can roll with one hand. You can hold with one hand. All right. No backhand, no blanks this time.
So final instructions from referee Johnny McAvoy as the fighters go back to their corners. This first defense for Max Baer, James Braddock. As the ring announcer was saying, a comeback man, and he lands the first purposeful punch of the fight. Max Baer, who's developed something of a playboy image over the last year, really is a very, very strong favourite indeed for this contest. The feeling is that the champion has the power, and he certainly has the poise. Maybe, though, he's just underestimated this man, James Braddock. And a big crowd turned out at the Long Island Bowl. Braddock on the left-hand side of your picture, slightly the taller man, the lighter man as well. Weighed in at 13 stone 11 3/4. Max Baer 14 stone 13 1/2. Oh, good right hand from Braddock. Well, Baer poses, postures as much as to say it didn't hurt, but that was a good, solid, clubbing right hand from the challenger. Braddock, incidentally, with a slight height and reach advantage. Braddock, a local man, born in the Hell's Kitchen area of New York, now based out of New Jersey. Quite opening to the fight, and it has to be said that Baer hasn't done too much so far. Feints to throw the left to the head and follows up with a left hook to the body, and in the end comes off the worse for it. Braddock just patiently going about his work. And the end of an opening round, few boos amid the cheers, and for my money, Braddock does enough to win it. Round two, of course, scheduled to go 15 rounds, the championship distance. Max Baer with the Star of David on the far side of the ring, the left side of your picture now. In his 48th professional fight, 40 wins as against 7 defeats. Good solid shot again from Braddock. No respecter of reputation. Body shots from Baer, who incidentally said when they made it, they just signed the poor guy's death warrant. Well, no sign of that so far as Braddock again comes on strong. Braddock coached and taught in the sport by Joe Jeanette, one of the leading heavyweights of the early years of the century. Professional for around about 10 years, and you can see he's a well-schooled fighter. Originally a light heavyweight, stepped up and had a couple of bad defeats at the beginning of the 1930s. Looked as though he was going absolutely nowhere, but 3 good wins in the last year, and you can see him once again, the confidence as he's putting together his punch as well in this second round. There's a lethargic look to Baer's work at this stage. Obviously feels he has the knockout punch. Contemptuously hitches up his shorts at the end of the second, but it's another round to Braddock. Come on, Max, is the cry from the crowd. Baer's done plenty of posturing and clowning, not thrown too many meaningful punches so far. The champion on the far side of the ring. Max Baer, born in Nebraska, but brought up in Livermore, California. Stalking Braddock, looking to unleash those bombs. And Braddock at the moment, the only man doing any meaningful scoring. They're very much the self-styled glamour boy. Been performing in nightclub reviews over the last year. Good body shots from Baer. Again, that jab, a scoring shot from Braddock. Neither fighter troubled by the power of the opponent so far. Braddock just doing the bit more work. Picking Baer off with the jab and the right over the top, and that gets a roar of acclaim from the crowd. Baer looking very sluggish as he moves into range. And again, a pretty poor round from the champion. So Braddock ahead in this fight, the challenger, on the right-hand side of your picture. Boos from the crowd. Baer salutes them, as much as to say sorry. Amazing to think that James Braddock was living on welfare only a year or two ago. The referee having to split them as Baer again tries to get inside and work away to the body. Go on, Jimmy, is the shout as Braddock lands with a good solid hook to the body. And Baer's got to get back to his boxing. Braddock not doing anything too spectacular, but just doing enough. Well, a bit of the old pro there from Braddock as he tied Baer up inside and spun away off the ropes out of danger. Well, another pretty poor round. There were boos from the crowd at the end of the fourth. They'd like to see a little bit more meaningful action. Baer contemptuous about Braddock's abilities, just holding his left arm out more as a measuring stick than a jab. But he's not earning any sort of credit by just posturing. He's got to throw punches. Nothing at all from Baer. Well, Max Baer, only 26, by 4 years the younger man, the fresher fighter, you would have thought, but at the moment he certainly doesn't look that way. And he's moaning to the referee about some work from Braddock inside, maybe a bit of work with the head from the challenger. Braddock totally outboxing Max Baer. Baer going flailing in, trying to throw the big right hand. But Braddock slipping it well, getting inside and not giving Baer room to open up, and then replying with interest. Braddock certainly lightly regarded by the Baer camp. Max Baer had a hand injury in training. Boos again at the end of the 5th round. And Baer starts with a good solid left to the solar plexus. Oh, good work from Braddock though. And at last the crowd get a little bit of toe-to-toe action to cheer on. Max Baer, the champion, must surely know now that he's behind on the card. Snappy jab from Braddock. Baer just paws with his left hand, then tries to throw the clubbing right hand. And Braddock sees it coming a mile off. Good body shot from Braddock. You could hear that right hand thud home into the rib cage. Oh, good right hand again. Baer not stunned by it. Taunting Braddock as he comes forward, but another round, I think, to the challenger. Hoots of derision again at the end of the 6th, now into the 7th. Max Baer hasn't really been able to unleash the power shots so far. The punches which put down the feared Primo Carnera. Body shot from Baer. Braddock wanted a little bit of help from the referee in there. And solid right hand from the champion. Oh, and that's a good right. Good short right hand, and Braddock's in trouble. He was wobbled by that. It was the short right hand which did the damage. And now can Max Baer finish him off? Baer's looking to end this. Braddock trying to buy time, trying to get in close. And has Max Baer missed his opportunity? James Braddock still looking a bit unsteady, but a good right hand from the challenger. Well, Baer now knows he can hurt his man. And it wasn't one of those big, long, telegraphed right hands which did the damage. It was a sweet right hand which travelled no more than 18 inches. Well, Braddock's rode out the storm. Max Baer taps him on the shoulder by way of acknowledgement. And let's take another look at that right hand from Baer. That was the one which did the damage. And Baer, you can see, looking for the finish. Braddock in big trouble at this stage, but the old pro, 83 fights behind him, managed to buy the time and to ride out the storm. Round 8 of this World Heavyweight Championship fight from New York. Well, that's play acting from Baer, showing the crowd and Braddock that he wasn't hurt one jot. But more often than not, when fighters do that, it means they are hurt. And Baer may be clowning, but Braddock knew that he got through, and he's done it again. You get the impression that Braddock, having rode that storm in round 7, might just now be gaining in confidence and realizing that against all the odds, this just might be his night. Again, nothing with that left hand from Baer. No more than an irritant to Braddock, a measuring stick, if you like, for Max Baer. But no good doing it if you don't follow up with a decent right hand. Maybe that training injury is stopping Baer stepping in. Braddock picking him off as he comes forward now. Good crisp headshots. Baer flailing away, but starting to look tired. Eighth round. And there was the right hand from Braddock. Baer clowning, suggesting he wasn't hurt at all. Well, it might amuse some people, but I'm sure that James Braddock doesn't mind one bit. Into the ninth. Baer trying to draw Braddock in so he can land that big right hand. Although we've not seen too much evidence of the Baer knockout punch for the last couple of rounds or so. Maybe that big effort in the seventh, maybe a little bit of damage. Here, Baer's corner urging him forward. Come on, Max. But no real sign of World Championship form from the champion so far. Messy tangles. No real meaningful shots being thrown inside. Of use of the head from Braddock. See Braddock boring forward. And it's starting to get a little bit rough in close. Braddock staying right in Baer's face, not giving him any opportunity to launch the big right hook. Again, just picking the champion off, then working away inside. Bell goes to end the round. Into the 10th. Now, if James Braddock can just find the self-belief, is he going to become the world champion? At the age of 29. The Cinderella man, a real rags to riches story. Baer finding the target, but no great power in those shots. Just arm punches from the champion. Cuffing Braddock. And then way off target with the right hand over the top. There with that idiosyncratic movement of hitching up his shorts. Baer simply is just not doing enough. Again, the head of Braddock in close. Good right hand to the body from Baer. Baer on the far side of the ring. Another good solid body shot right on the bell. Well, the crowd certainly want to see more action than they've had so far. Baer just pushing towards Braddock with that open glove. The referee really should do something about that. And at last the action starts to warm up. Baer maybe has been told by his corner, look Max, you've really got to do something about this. And there's a greater purpose now to the champion's work. Baer feints to throw the right hand and again thinks twice about it. Adds to the belief that maybe he's carrying an injury. Left hook from Braddock. Braddock goes boring in with the head. Smart right over the top from the challenger, and again the clash of heads. Baer's talking to Braddock in there. Bell goes to end a closer round, and Baer maybe did enough to take that one. Solid right hand from Braddock. And again. And is the title slipping away from Max Baer? Measures his man with that left hand again. Still doesn't throw the right. And when he does to the body there, just more of an arm punch than anything else. And Braddock able to pick him off with combinations. Left hand again from Braddock. Oh, good shot from the challenger. More of an air of desperation about the work of Max Baer. Baer talking to Braddock's corner. But it's not enough, and Braddock like a man inspired. Big shots right on the bell. See again, there's plenty of bumping and boring with heads. Left hand from Braddock. Baer coming back, trying to plant that right hand. Only a glancing blow, and Braddock comes back, replying with interest. 2 or 3 solid shots to the head. Good body shot from Baer. Fierce exchange there. Baer again and again hammering away at the body, but Braddock is fighting like a man inspired. Round 13. Baer must know now he needs 3 big rounds. But it's Braddock who again is forcing the pace. Baer, the heavier man, more well-muscled man, but he's not been able to make his power tell so far. Cries of "come on Jimmy boy" now, urging on Braddock. Scoring shots again from Braddock. Left-right combination. They're still doing plenty of posing in there and unable to sustain the action for 3-minute bursts. Really makes you wonder about his preparations for this contest. Braddock not doing anything too spectacular, but just doing enough. So 2 rounds to go, and Max Baer now surely needs to find a knockout to turn this round. ponderous, lethargic performance from the champion in his first defence. Solid right hand from Baer. And again. Good solid shots once again. And Baer may be realising that the title's slipping away from him. Is really going for broke. Trying to tee off the big right hand. Braddock only just off target with that. Baer allowing his gloves to hang low. Some of the crowd away back thought that Baer was in trouble, but it was only a glancing blow. And Braddock content now to get inside and just try and mess the champion around. Baer a little bit disconsolately goes back to his corner. See again some of the action from that 14th round. Good right uppercut from Baer. There was the right hand over the top. Not a clean connection from Braddock. And no suggestion that Baer was in trouble. When Baer tries to fight back, Braddock's in close, tying him up. So the 15th and final round. Braddock tying Baer up inside, the head coming in as well. Referee keeping a close look at it, and Baer complaining to the referee, and the referee says, never mind that, get in there. Johnny McAvoy, an experienced man between the ropes, won't take any of Max Baer's nonsense. A lot of head work again though from Braddock. Baer's got to find a big shot. Braddock knows it, and that's why he's in close. Trying to prevent the champion getting any sort of leverage on his danger punches. And Braddock just may be closing in on the title. Baer throwing the more punches, but there's a flailing desperation about it. Can Max Baer find the big shot? Oh, that's a good solid right hand, and another one. Oh, and he's staggered. Braddock is caught by two good lefts and a right cross. The first time since the 7th round. James Braddock's legs momentarily stiffened, but is it too late? Two very tired men just leaning on now. Oh, good right hand from Braddock. Baer takes it well. And Braddock maybe, as the two embrace, maybe he's pulled off one of the great comeback stories of all time. Max Baer makes his way back to his corner disconsolately, and certainly the Braddock corner think that their man is the new champion of the world. Shortly we'll hear the deliberations of the judges from our Master of Ceremonies tonight, and here now comes the verdict.
The winner and
So the celebrations begin. Braddock's won it. Max Baer failing in his first defence. And James J. Braddock from New Jersey, aged 29 in his 84th professional fight, is champion of the world.